Suprabhat. Today we are going to learn heat exchange principle. What is heat exchange principle? Whenever there is, if we take a box reservoir here and put one hot object and another cool object inside it, there is no heat exchange with outside air. Then after some time what happens? Temperature of hot object decreases and temperature of cold object increases, and both of them are at same temperature T such that T1 greater than T greater than T2. That means heat has flown from higher temperature region to lower temperature region. In our daily life, we all know that everywhere the physical quantities flow from higher temperature, higher level to lower level. For example, current flows from higher potential to lower potential. Air flows from higher pressure region to lower pressure region. Water flows from higher level to lower level. Objects fall from higher level to lower level. So, in this case also, heat exchange takes place from hot object to cold object. That is higher temperature to lower temperature. That means, and in this case, as there we are considering about insulated box, heat resistance, that is like wood, glass wool, cotton fiber, these are all heat resistant substances. They cannot pass heat because that's why they burn. Conduction is easy rather than burning. Okay, so wood burns because it do not pass heat. Did you get my point? So this is made up of as insulated material, and specific heat capacity of air is very small. So amount of heat gained by air can be negligible, and therefore we say that the heat lost by hot object is equal to heat gained by cold object. This is what heat exchange principle. This principle is used to find specific heat capacity of any object. For that purpose, calorimeter is used. You may have learnt in earlier standard the figure of calorimeter. Here, this calorimeter, it is made up of wooden box which is insulated material. There is a wooden block for standing the calorimeter, and middle space is filled with insulated material like glass wool or fiber. Lid is also made up of wooden block of wood, and it has two holes. One hole is for stirrer, another hole is for thermometer. Now if a hot ball is taken and water is added to this calorimeter, this is copper vessel. Okay, now how to find specific heat capacity of copper vessel? This is copper vessel. First we will find the specific heat capacity of copper vessel. We will add some water. We will measure the temperature. Now as we know, it is law of nature to remain at same level. After some time, the copper vessel and water both will be at same temperature, and because of that, if we measure, note down the first temperature, initial temperature of copper vessel, it will be some T1, and then after measured quantity of water we have to add in it, and temperature at higher level. What will happen? And keep on stirring. Why stirring? Because if we do not stir, because of convection mode, cool water will remain at its position, and this thermometer is not going to add. If it is at bottom, it will measure less temperature. If it is at upper level, it will measure higher temperature. It will not give unique reading. So to get unique reading, we have to keep stirring this water continuously. Now hot water is added. What happens whenever you add hot water to cool water? After some times, all water becomes at same level. Have you observed this? Okay, so we will measure the final temperature. Now, specific heat capacity of water is said to be 1 calorie per degree per Celsius. So, what is heat lost by a hot object? That is, its mass be m1, added water mass m1, its specific heat capacity C1, water inside the calorimeter m2, and its temperature, initial temperature of same both T2, and C2 is its specific heat capacity, which is again 1, and specific heat capacity of copper is C3. Now, heat lost by hot object after some time the temperature attained is T. So, heat lost by hot object is equal to Q1 is equal to M1 C1 into T1 minus T. And heat gained by cold object, there are two cool objects. One is calorimeter, another is water. So, heat lost by gained by cool object, second water, its mass is M2 and as its specific heat capacity is 1, I have not written here, and T is more than T2 because initially water was cool and now its temperature has been raised. So, it is T minus T2 and heat gained by calorimeter Q3 is equal to M3 into 0. Here we have to find C3 and T minus T2. If we equate all the values, that is Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3, we can find out the value of C3 because M1 is known, T is known, T2 is known, C1 is known, M2 is known and M1 is also known, T1 is also known. All the remaining quantities, even mass of calorimeter can be measured. All remaining quantities are known, therefore we can find the specific heat capacity of copper. Now if we do not, now we have found out the specific heat capacity of copper. Now what do we do? We take a sphere of, now what is specific heat capacity of water, copper? 0.1 calorie per gram per degree Celsius. This is specific heat capacity of copper. Now we want to find specific heat capacity of iron, Fe. Take a hot ball, measure its temperature. How to measure its temperature? We have to keep the iron ball inside a water bath, boiling water bath, and measure the temperature of that water bath. Whatever temperature attains the water bath, so is the temperature of this iron ball. Okay. Now insert this iron ball inside the calorimeter. Now again, what will happen? Its temperature of this is T1 and temperature of this all setup is T2. Then heat lost, its mass is M1, here mass of water, M2, mass of calorimeter Cu is equal to M3. So heat lost by hot object is equal to Q1, Q, and heat gained by cold object cold objects. What is it? It is Q1 plus Q2. Now Q is equal to what? M1, its specific heat capacity C1 into loss in temperature. Suppose final temperature attained is T. So T minus T1. And heat gained by cold objects, one is calorimeter. So Q1 is equal to, one is water, Q1 is equal to M2 into C2. What is C2? It's 1 into final temperature T minus initial temperature T2. And Q2 is equal to M3 into, we have found out specific heat capacity of calorimeter 0.1 into T minus T2. It is same for all objects. Now only what is not known? Only C1 is not known. We know C2, we know C3, we know final temperature, initial temperature, final temperature. We can measure the mass of hot object. We can measure the amount of water added and mass of calorimeter. So only C1 is not known. So by calculating this Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2, we can find the specific heat capacity of unknown object. Did you get this? Now you have to write just the measurement of specific heat exchange principle and measurement of specific heat mixing method and calorimeter. Thank you.